So you're thinking about starting an online business, but you want a way to start that's safe. In this video, I'm gonna go over the safest way to start a business. So even though there's a little bit of risk, you're really minimizing that and increasing the amount of upside and potential you're gonna get out of it. I'm Jesse with Inspire Video Marketing, where I show you how to inspire with your videos, and you can also make a great living while doing it. If that's something you're looking to do, subscribe and click the bell icon to catch the newest videos. So the first thing to keep in mind is this might not be the fastest way to start a business, but it's definitely the safest. The fastest would be to maybe go the paid ads route. But the thing with that is there's a big learning curve involved with trying to learn how to do paid ads, and you're paying money, so that kind of puts you at a little bit of a risk, right? If you're not making your money back right away and you can't afford to wait long term for, those contacts, those leads, or those customers to help you break even and then start making money, that can be an issue, right? Plus, on top of that, you have to be good with ads, you have to be good with, optimizing your sales pages to get the most possible sales out of them, all that, right? If you're trying to just get something started, that's not necessarily the best way to go about things. Now, maybe you've seen ads on like Facebook or Google, and they'll say like, you can make $1 million by tomorrow just by getting this method working, right? And a lot of times what they're gonna tell you to do with that is ads. Now, I'm not saying like they're lying and that it's impossible. It is possible, but that's also under the assumption you've got a fair amount of business knowledge as far as marketing online, setting up sales pages, squeeze pages. There's a whole bunch of things I could talk about here, but that's a whole nother topic for another day. The point is there's a learning curve involved, and if you don't have like a lot of those different little skills, even if you take their step-by-step formulas, there's still a good chance if you're missing one or two of those pieces, it's not gonna work out as good as it possibly could. Here is the safest possible way. This is exactly what I did when I started my business. Now, a couple things I want to keep in mind with this is I'm going to give you a couple different ways to go about this. I would highly recommend you do a couple of them, but really zero in and focus on one of them. And I'm going to go through these in order where we're going to basically go from what I think is good to great to best. So whichever of these three methods you decide to do, there's one thing you have to get in place first. What's your product or service, right? You got to figure that out. Get a good idea of what you're good at. What I would do is just, look at number one, what do you have a little bit of a passion about, or maybe a big passion? Ideally, a big passion will help you keep with it long term. But then besides that, if you want to get started quick, figure out what it is that you're good at. What do you know already? So my wife, she started a business on how to speak Spanish because she's from Honduras and she's able to speak Spanish really well. And we were able to figure out, hey, this is something you can do. You don't need to learn more about it to go out and start offering this to someone. This is something you already know how to do really well. So maybe you're good at cooking. Maybe you are good at mechanics, right? With cars and things like that. You can offer it as a service. Maybe it's something people are looking for that you can offer, and it's something that you're great at. And a lot of times this will be something that you'll think to yourself like, oh, that's nothing. That's no big deal. Because to you, it is no big deal. It's easy. And a lot of times that's the absolute best thing you can offer, because if it's easy for you, you can do it quickly and you can do it well. And for someone else that it's really difficult for them to do that, that's gonna be really valuable. Even though to you, it might not be worth much, to someone else, it's gonna be worth a lot. Big thing that you should always keep in mind. So once you've got that figured out, now we can go over like the three main ways of going about building this business as far as getting traffic or potential leads and customers into your business. So the first way, and again, we're gonna go towards the best way in my opinion, is social media. Facebook, Instagram, things like that are gonna be great for getting your message out there. You can kind of promote, you can show people what you have to offer, you can educate them on maybe a process that you do and get their trust, right? You could do this with text posts, you could do this with pictures, you could do this with videos. Basically give people some entertainment, give them some value, show them that you're a human being, show them that you're trustworthy. Nowadays, that's what people are looking for. They want someone that they can trust, because they never really know online who they're dealing with and if they're, can be trusted or not. But with social media, it allows you to put your personality out there a little bit, right? Over time, show them, hey, okay, this guy's been around for a while with their page. I can trust them. They're giving me good content. They're giving me helpful tips. They're entertaining me. They have a good sense of humor. That allows them to relate to you as well. Something that a lot of people nowadays, they're not looking for so much of that corporate stale branding type of thing. They want to do business with human beings. So this is your opportunity to do all those things, give value, earn trust, get people to like you, and obviously they're gonna be a lot more likely to do business with someone like that than a complete stranger. So here's like a real world example how this would play out. Let's say you're looking for a car and you go to this car lot where you don't know the guy that's selling the cars there, right? And he tells you this and that about the car. It's $8,000 and you're just like, okay, what's all going on with it? What's wrong with it? We all know that there's kind of this stigma, and no offense to any used car salesman. If you go to the car lot and it's a used car salesman and he tells you what's going on with the car, okay, that'll give you a little bit of of an idea, but you might not 100% trust what they have to say, right? Now let's say you go to another used car lot, but your best friend is the salesman that you're dealing with there. Same price for the car, let's just say it's exact same make and model against all odds, and you know, same year, same mileage, all that, exact same problems, and he says this, and that is wrong with it. Who are you gonna believe more? Your best friend or the complete stranger? Pretty obvious, it's probably gonna be your best friend, right? Because you know he's not gonna try to take advantage of you because you've known him for a while. You've seen his face. He's earned your trust. He's given you value. You've got a great sense of humor, right? You learn all these little things about him and you have more of a connection with him. You know, like, and trust. Big key to making sales. Same thing is happening on social media, albeit it's maybe not quite the same as having a best friend, but that level of know, like, and trust has been raised. With that being said, the thing with social media is as you make your post, you're gonna make that post and then it's just gonna kind of fizzle out, right? People will see it for a day or two and it doesn't really show up in anybody's feed anymore unless they decide to go to your page, which, let's be honest, most people when they go to Facebook, they don't spend a whole lot of time doing that unless they're stalking you. Second way to build a business that's super safe, websites. Blogging. Takes a little bit more of a technical knowledge, but you can get a website up for dirt cheap. Costs a little bit more than obviously having social media, which is free, but for about 10 bucks for a domain name for a year and like 50 bucks for hosting for the year, you can start search engine optimizing blog posts to show up for what people are looking for. So basically, if you're not familiar with search engine optimization, it's also called SEO for short. Basically what it means is when someone types something into Google, like let's say how to make pancakes, and you want to show up number one for how to make pancakes, you would want to optimize your web page or a blog post to try to show up number one for that in the ranking. So page one, top listing is the ideal spot to be because then boom, you can get a lot of traffic for free over and over and over again. And again, just like with social media, you can get that know, like, and trust element by helping people out and giving them valuable content. Just like social media, you can use images, you can use videos, you could use text. All those are methods that you could use to give some different media to people that they would find helpful, and you can show up in Google search results. You could also take this and, like I was saying earlier, mix these elements, right? You could take that blog post and now put it on social media and kind of take advantage and get the best of both worlds. Plus, if you're search engine optimizing for, say, if you're in real estate and you're in a certain city, let's say real estate Orlando, you could show up in Google search when someone's looking for that over and over and over and over again, which is why I personally prefer it over social media alone. You can put in the work once and continue to get new leads and business for it as long as it keeps ranking. Now, obviously there is some level of maintenance to it and whatnot, but overall, you're gonna get a bigger bang for your buck as you start doing more and more blog posts and your website builds authority through the eyes of Google. And the third and my personal favorite, and I'm gonna go over all the details why, YouTube. I mean, we're on YouTube right here, right? YouTube is a lot like Google. You can make a video and rank for it. And you can also show up in suggested videos for it and instantly start getting a lot of views really quickly. But on top of that, long-term, get a lot of views. So you get kind of the best of both worlds that you would from both social media and from the blog post. Plus, video is just fantastic because you can see facial expression, happy, sad, all that stuff. It allows people to connect with you a little bit more like on an emotional level and as a human being. That type of one-to-one connection is huge when you're trying to build a business. People can get to know a lot more about your personality through video than they can through a blog post. They can get to know a lot more about you than you can from a Facebook post or even a picture. A lot of those little nuances get lost in text as far as like how you're expressing yourself when you're saying a word. Like if you're saying something sarcastic, it doesn't always come across, right? Video, you can make sure everything's a lot more clear. And in a way, you could almost use a YouTube video like a blog post by putting in your description a little bit more writing and text and things like that if you wanted to get the best of both worlds. And you can also take your YouTube video, put it in your blog post, and then put that blog post on social media. Now, to give you a little bit of a format of how I would recommend you go about using all these methods is basically give people value, whether it's entertainment or inside look behind the scenes, you teach them how to do something, whatever the case may be, make sure there's some level of value to it. And then at the end, you can mention your product or service, make an offer, get them maybe on an email list. That's the safest way to go about this because now people are gonna wanna share it. And then at the end, people will be able to see, hey, this was great stuff. Maybe I'll take the next step and see what it is that they have to offer and give it a shot. But one of the big keys for this to work, again, is to make sure you're search engine optimizing or suggested engine optimizing your YouTube video. This YouTube video right here shows you exactly how to do that step by step. Check it out, it's gonna help you a ton. If this video helped, click the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon to catch the newest videos, and I'll see you in that video next.